Hey everybody, this is Josh from MusicLesson.com coming at you again with a video here. Just wanted to go through this article that we have called How to Hold the Violin Posture and how I'm going to help you hold the violin, okay? So I just wanted to go through that real quick. Now, you're going to see me look to the sides because I have my notes here, and I'm going to go through the whole article in line so that you can see how things work together, okay? Now, this is step one, day one, okay? This is the very basics when we get started here. First of all, you're going to put the violin on your shoulder, okay? The shoulder is going to hold the shoulder rest, which holds the violin, and the violin has the chin rest, and then your chin is going to go on the chin rest, okay? So there's the very basics of it. Okay, so the first things first is the shoulder rest, okay? If you are a right-handed violinist, you turn your violin around, your shoulder rest actually should be in the shape of a frowny face, okay? If you're a left-handed violinist like myself, it will be a smiley face. So this is a right-handed violinist shoulder rest, how it should go, okay? Now I'm a left-handed violinist, which just makes me your mirror, basically, okay? So I want you to simply look at me like that. So let me put this back on here. Okay, so the shoulder rest is going to sit on the back of the violin. The violin is going to go up on the shoulder. Now, as the name suggests, the shoulder rest is going to contour and hold on to, and not like literally hold on, but it's going to contour and hold on to the shoulder, okay? So you're going to put your chin down on the chin rest, like so. The shoulder is going to be seated in that nice curved area on your shoulder, okay? So that's how that's going to work. Now, there's a lot of different brands of shoulder rest. We've got an article up here at MusicLesson.com. Kuhn, Wolf, Everest. Everest is a great economy model. So if money's a tight thing for you guys, check out the Everest. It's a very good model. Also, Fiddler Man has a fantastic shoulder rest model as well that's made of wood that you might like as well. Okay, now the next thing is no scroll toes. Okay, no scroll toes. Your nose is going to be in line with your scroll, and if you're standing, your scroll is going to be in line with your toes, okay? Now, let's just go through no scroll right now. You're going to put the violin up on your shoulder, okay? And the nose is going to point at the scroll, okay? The nose is pointing at the scroll, or in its general direction. It's not going to be a literal, A to B line, right? But it's going to be pointing in that general direction, okay? So nose, scroll, and then you're going to take the foot that's on the same side as your scroll, and you're going to tilt it slightly so that the toe, is in line with the scroll, okay? So then you would have nose, scroll, toes. Now, I always advise that my students practice standing up. Just seems to produce better posture. Your spine is more upright, so on and so forth, and that's where you can get the nose, scroll, toes aspect of things, okay? All right, moving on. Now, how hard? How hard should I press my chin down on the chin rest? Very good question. You never want to be pressing down so hard that your neck muscles are straining. And I'm going to look really weird when I do this, but see when I do that? You don't want that, okay? So just press your chin down just hard enough on the chin rest so that it puts enough pressure on the shoulder rest and the shoulder to hold the violin in place. Now, I want you to put your hand right here, okay, on the upper bout. We're going to talk about this more in a bit, okay? And I want you to just put the chin down, and I want you to slightly let go with your chin, and you'll see the scroll start to dip. We don't want the scroll to dip, okay? So just press the chin down right in the middle of the chin rest until you get to the point where you're holding the scroll level with the floor, okay? Like so. All right, there you have it there. Now, level-headed. Keep your head level. Don't let your head fall down. Don't let your neck go forward. We don't want that when we're doing these things, okay? Because they will give you bad posture. I'll give you an example here that happens to a lot of my students. Let's say our head's tilted forward. Now watch this. Watch when I remove my violin. See that? That's what you actually looked like, okay? We don't want that. Let's keep the neck upright. Let's keep the spine upright. Keep the shoulders back, okay? Like so. Level-headed, okay? Level-headed, alrighty? Next thing is, where do I put my hand? Well, there's two places you're going to put your hand. First, if you're playing open strings, and if you're a beginner, this is what I suggest for you, okay? I want you guys to take your left hand if you're a right-handed violinist, your right hand if you're a left-handed violinist. This is important. The hand is always going to go, because this is your fingering hand, okay? Not your bowing hand, but your fingering hand. Fingering hand is always going to go on the same side as the E string, okay? So same side as the E string right there. Okay, so make sure that you've got that. Make sure you're doing that. So I'm going to put my hand, in my case, my right hand, if you're a right-handed violinist, your left hand, right here on the upper bow next to the E string. Okay, then I'm going to flip the violin. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Flip the violin, come over to the shoulder. Okay, flip the violin, come over to the shoulder right here. Okay, put it up here. Okay, and I'm going to hold the violin right there. Okay, and that's a general good place to hold a violin, especially if you're doing open strings, which is what we'll be doing in stage 2 mainly, and in stage 1 as well. Now, the next thing is you're going to, stage 1. Stage 2 will go into fingers. The next thing what you want to do is you want to look at, for fingering notes, you want to look at your hand. My right hand, your left hand, if you're a right-handed violinist. You actually want to look at your hand here, and you want to make sure that your first finger bass knuckle is what you're aware of, because that's what's going to touch the violin, okay? Also, go to your thumb, and between your first knuckle and the tip of your thumb, I want you to find the middle point right here, that middle point right there, okay? These 2 points right here are what are going to touch the neck of the violin in order for you to play fingers or notes on the violin, okay? And that's important, okay? Never is the neck of the violin going to touch right here. Never, ever, okay? I don't want you guys to do that, okay? These 2 points are going to be touching the side of the fingerboard, okay? Now let me show you what I mean, okay? First finger bass knuckle, right here, just past the nut. Right here, just past the nut, okay? Can you see that? Right there, just past the nut, okay? The next thing is thumb right here, okay? Thumb right here, okay? And that thumb is going to be right in the middle, okay? And it's going to be right there just past the nut as well. It's going to be about right there. Notice I don't want too much thumb above my fingerboard, okay? Not even that much really, about there, okay? And then the fingers like this, okay? So when I hold it up, this is what you're going to get right here, okay? This is what you're going to get right here, okay? There you go, and like so. Now, the next thing on the list is the wrist. We don't ever want our wrist to be flat like this, okay? This is what I call the pizza waiter hand, okay? I love pizza, you love pizza, pizza's great, right? Well, most people anyways, okay? But this is bad for violin playing. Keep the wrist either straight or slightly tilted outwards, okay? And that's fine too right there, okay? Actually, that's probably optimal. That's where you want to be, okay? Never in like this. Out too far will hurt, so don't do that. That would be problematic, okay? So keep the wrist about like so, okay? All right, very good. Now, moving on, the elbow, okay? The elbow should always be directly underneath the violin. Let me show you what we don't want, okay? Notice the elbow right here? We don't want the elbow behind the violin. That we do not want, okay? We do not want the elbow behind the violin. Okay, keep it underneath the violin. If you're playing the D or the G string, you're going to bring the elbow in further so that you can play towards the E string, actually. Okay, towards the E string so that you can play the D or the G string easier. Okay, that's an important distinction that we have to make there. Okay, now, hopefully this will help out with your posture. The next step is to head on over to the How to Hold Your Bow article and check that out. Remember, keep practicing because that's the most important thing here. And finally, music is magic.